That was quick and easy.
Right? We just get dropped in here.
Trying to butter my lips up and shit, and here we are.
Taking a
God
quick
dang.
swig.
You know, I
You feel me?
wasn't quite prepared as yet, but I guess fuck that shit.
We here now.
We hit the hey.
Hi. So, welcome to another episode of Waifu Anime Review. It's me, your girl, Pinky Senpai. What's good? And then we've also got the lovely Royal Gem tonight. Kiyoki-sama had to get off work at 8 o'clock, so she may or may not slide. I don't know where your girl Sadika Love is, so if y'all see her, tell her hurry up and get her ass home so she can get on the stream.
Come on, Sadika girl. Where's you at, boo-boo?
I was going to say real quick to get through intros. We are Waifu Anime Review or War. We are under the Blurred Cartel. You can follow us on Facebook, IG, YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, TikTok, and Twitch. Generally, wherever you consume content is where we are.
Mm-hmm.
So tonight, we are reviewing the first 12 episodes of Ranking of Kings. It was such a good show.
It was so freaking good. Oh my God.
It sucked me in like immediately. Like usually for a show, I gotta watch like 1 to 3 episodes to really get into it. And I'm sorry if you see my arm and shoulder moving. I got bit the fuck up this week by mosquitoes on my right head. And these Jones is itching. But all that being said, so oh, look at that.
Hi. Can you guys hear us?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
And good. She brought herself a guest. So
yes.
We've got the lovely Sadika Love. And who is that with her?
Hi, y'all. My name is Dorian.
You gotta speak up.
Oh. I thought it could hear me from where I was sitting at. Hi, y'all. I'm Sadika's friend, Dorian.
Hey, Dorian.
Dorian.
So glad to have you.
Thank you for having me.
You ready to talk about Ranking of Kings, boo? Did you watch?
I've already completed the series, so y'all need to tell me where y'all at.
Oh my goodness, we are only doing up to episode 12.
Yes.
Now I did watch.
When y'all start getting into the thick of it, then it'll jog where episode 12 is.
Episode 12 is so early. I was just telling Pinky, episode 12 is like right before the real good shit. So,
oh my fucking God.
It is.
I have a question because I don't remember what episode I left off on, but I got to the point where someone was struck by lightning.
Okay.
So Pinky's face tells me that we are not there.
No, I don't think that's there yet.
If I knew we was watching the whole thing, I wouldn't have stopped. We were supposed to only do 12 episodes.
I couldn't stop. It was so good.
It is though. I started episode 13 and I was like, wait, I'm on the road. I can't go this far.
I was like, I gotta see what the fuck happens next.
No.
And then the shit was getting wild. I'm like, oh.
Darn me for having a review integrity here. I was like,
I'm sorry. I was trying.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started, get into it. Let's give overall impressions. How do we like this show so far? 2 thumbs up.
It's a 10, like already.
Yeah, it's definitely a 10.
Oh, it had me. I think the only thing that threw me off right away was the art style. And
everyone says that.
Yeah, in the beginning, like because Dorian warned me like months ago about it, I was like, oh, okay. I know it's gonna look quirky. But since I've been watching One Piece, I've been okay with it.
It wasn't that it was quirky, it was that it was so gentle and soft compared to the gory, like actiony of it that it threw me off. Like it felt like watching Babar, but with blood. I was very confused at first, like because they don't like pull any punches even from the first episode. Like we see there's a little bit of blood in the first episode, and it was like that's so weird. And then like for me, who I never read anything about this show, I only ever saw gifs and clips and stuff And I didn't know anything about the show at all besides that it was called Ranking of Kings and the MC's name was Boji. That was it. So going into it for me, I was like, oh, okay, this art style is different. It's not bad. And then they threw me off with the blood, and I was like, oh, that's a little strange. But I reconciled it quickly. And then I was telling Royal this before the start of the show. I really actually loved how the dynamics of Boji in his kingdom. So we know that he is deaf and mute, not completely mute, but like mostly. And that people Boji is also in my list of children that I will kill and or die for.
We got some really good children. Like
that is my son.
Anime season.
Boji is definitely one of them. I usually don't feel that way about because I be like, fuck them kids. But Boji, I like me some Boji.
That's one of my babies. Boji, ouch. Boji, Eri, Kotaro, all of them. Like those are my children.
I still haven't seen that one. I'm gonna have to watch that.
Yeah, I think that's that's our next one.
Yeah. Oh, that's our next one. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sorry, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. But so yeah, overall impression, I really enjoyed the show. I loved that Boji wasn't like an immediately well-respected, well-loved MC in his kingdom. Like they made fun of him.
They were talking bad about him. They didn't believe in him.
They cooled him.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that one kid who was like, if you don't like being made fun of, why don't you talk? And like, idiot.
Yeah, they did my man Boji wrong.
They did my man's Boji hella wrong. And then I was confused too by the title of the first episode because it was called The King's Clothes. So like, again, not knowing anything about the show, I was like, is this about to be a weird retelling of Grimm's fairy tales? Like I was very confused.
Not Grimm's fairy tales.
That's the title of the episode. Made me think that. So that's why I was like, oh, okay. But no, it's a really good show. Love that for like Boji's whole thing is overcoming and like that he remains sunny, but they also were very real about the fact that he's like, I can understand y'all. I just act like I don't, so that
I don't.
My discomfort doesn't make you uncomfortable. And I was like, baby, you better than me because I would be showing out.
Exactly. I would be showing out too, nigga. You the prince. I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. Dungeon. All of you.
Execute it. Talk shit about me if you want to.
All of y'all heads.
All of them. Line the castle walls.
That's why Boji is better than us. Cause
Boji is
they're a little toxic. But like Boji he just never like backed down. Even though he would get sad, he would get disappointed. He still was like, yo, I have aspirations to be the king.
And he's like, I'm gonna be one of the best kings. And I was like, oh, I love that for you, baby. I love that.
Yes. Love that for you. Love that for you. He got it. I'm rooting for Boji. He's gonna be top king. I see it. It's in my heart.
Very much.
He was such a good character, and then he's just like a child. Like we know he's older than Daida, right?
Right.
But it's just the fact that because he has a disability, and Daida is just like, well, I'm going to be the next king, and I got everything. So
that little
blah,
shit.
Blah, blah. So people like really treat him like he's not capable. So every time he gets the one up on somebody, you really feel that, and you're like, son, you have achieved.
Now wait a second, hold on. Plot armor.
He got. I want to know.
No plot armor.
There's no plot armor.
There's plot armor.
He's not Ichigo. He's not Luffy. Right. My man was winning through perseverance.
Right, exactly.
That was perseverance and hard work.
Bandages stuff on him.
I can't tell you how many times I cried with Boji. Every time that little boy started crying, I started crying. I was like, oh my God.
he went through some real shit. Real shit.
I do agree
that
it was giving Joffrey vibes.
Not our Boji.
Not Boji.
Oh my God. He was giving Joffrey vibes. How did y'all feel about him though? Because I didn't like him, and I mean, I feel like he can go. Yeah, Daida.
I am not calling him King Daida. He's Daida.
Right. It's really
at one point, Daida. I was like, he a little bitch boy. He definitely has
Joffrey. Bitch boy. Daida like
Joffrey energy.
Oh God.
So for me, Daida like I said, he started out as a little bitch boy to me because he got mad. That spar he had with Boji, where Boji was kicking his ass. I was like, my nigga, if Boji had a real sword, you'd be dead.
Right.
Because the first hit he landed was to that nigga's head. Like, you'll be dead because you were cocky, because you were a little shit. And like that's the energy he had for a really long time. But once he got sucked into his body was stolen and he's like inside.
What the hell? The ability
I wrote a whole paragraph. Hold on.
Let's just read it. Let's just read it. They made Boji have the ability to immediately counter folks' attacks, regardless how strong. Yes, he was getting his ass beat to begin with, but we're not going to act like full counter isn't classed as a plot armor move. Bye, get out of here.
Well, full
okay, let's stop.
So he have his move. And then, like, go back and watch Ranking of Kings because you're talking shit and it sounds like you're not knowledgeable about the series.
Exactly. Did you watch past episode 12? Because I know we all stopped at episode 12.
Right, we all stopped at episode 12.
If you watch past it, you would see, no, that's not plot armor. It's very difficult for him. And he does lose. Like, it's not are you serious? This is hard work. This man his brain is working consistently, trying to find people's weak points, trying to find the weak points in their armor and their weapons. That's not plot armor. This is a fucking genius doing what geniuses do.
That's like the entire point of most like sword battles is like find your opponent's weak point and learn how to manipulate them. You know,
he's just a good fighter. Plot armor, really?
Pressure point manipulators there are in the anime TV world. Like what? Like I don't think that counts as plot armor.
Nah.
But what was I saying? About Dida? Oh yeah, so like I did not like him, and then I felt bad about when he got sucked into his dad's chest. So I didn't
feel bad. Fuck that nigga.
Oh no, I'm not saying when I say I feel bad, I don't mean I want good things for him. No, I feel like that was just desserts. I was like, nigga, you earned that shit. But at the same time, I was like, you're also a child who was manipulated by your father and your father's helper girl,
his mistress, basically his side John.
I don't know who Miranda was. And like I said, I stopped at episode 12.
But was it? My bad.
So I don't know what the full relationship there is. I don't like. They don't give you a lot of the actual relationship up through episode.
I'm excited for you to get there.
Okay, so I got that. So I do kind of know their relationship.
I was gonna say, trust and believe this week. Like I'm about to finish the rest of the show. I know we're not gonna review it for like 2 more weeks. I'm finishing the rest of it.
But how do we feel about the king? How do we feel about King Boss? Like
he is on the list of terrible anime fathers.
Thank you. Yes. You could tell. I got that vibe before I learned more of the backstory. I was like, I don't think that this is a good dad. I don't. Oh wow. Well, I'm
pedo vibes, really?
How?
I didn't get that.
Yeah, I wasn't getting pedo.
No, I did get that for a second because I see why. We can't talk about that because that's further down. But his relationship with Miranjo, his relationship with, that was a little weird. It's kind of weird. It is kind of weird. You're right.
But no, but King Boss is definitely in the list of ain't shit ass daddies in the anime universe because he only went and found a child, like found someone to have a child with, so that he could power up.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'm like, bro,
who are we comparing him to as other fathers in the anime universe, like anime multiverse? Let's say
he is a step below.
Let's get controversial in here.
I was gonna say he's a step below father. What's the Nina's dad?
He's a step below, because I would say they about on par.
And the only reason I say he's a step below is because he hasn't actually killed either one of his children. Nina was gonna die. Like there was no way she could survive.
You're talking about Full Metal.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, but she didn't die. I don't know. I feel like
for her to survive.
I mean, I feel you, but I feel like he wouldn't have gave a fuck. Like, he only had Boji to take his power. The reason why Boji, a midget, can't talk and shit like that is because he took his shit. He don't give a fuck. If that baby would have died, he would not have given a fuck. Not only that, he only had Data, whatever the fuck his name is, so that he can take over this man's body.
Thank you for saying it because I couldn't remember if that was before or after episode 12. And I'm just like, well, I don't want to say it if it ends up being a spoiler. So I'm glad that you said it. Like,
and it might have been a spoiler, but fuck that shit. Like, that's the only reason why he had this man. This man could be dead. He don't know. He don't know if he's dead or not. Fuck him.
Okay, fair enough.
Terrible.
He is
awful.
He's up there. He really is. Like, that was terrible. And like the scene where I mean, that's actually probably the next one that we're gonna get into is our favorite scenes, but this is like this is probably like my least favorite scene. Was when so it was when actually I have two least favorite scenes. But the first one was when Boss stole Boji's power. Like, the man was in the middle of a fight, and I was like, damn, if only y'all had killed him a little bit faster. And then he goes, my child was born. And I'm like, so you just stole all the strength that little nigga was going to have. And the way that he has been disabled by the strength stealing makes me think that he would have been an exceptional, like, really exceptional. He would have had really exceptional hearing and wisdom. Like, he probably would have been one of those people that's like always knowing what's going on, like well informed and being able to make really good decisions. And then they stole his voice, so he would have been influential. People would have listened to him. He could have really become somebody.
Right. He said King Joffrey. That's what his name is from now on. He's King Joffrey. This moment forward.
That's funny as shit. Chris said, I gave my hair so my babies wouldn't be bald. Your babies are very cute, Chris. I was like, I've seen them. They're adorable. But so yeah, no, that was one of my least favorite scenes. And then the other one was when King Joffrey II and Boji were sparring, and his teacher was like, "That's not how." He was like, "That's not how kings fight." And then Daida proceeded to beat the shit out of him, and I was like, "Why is nobody stopping this?
Right.
This is not a fight. It's not fair. It's not. This is a beating. It's not a fight. It's a beating. Like, why are we enabling this? Mochi, stop that."
Are you just a doggy named Mochi?
Oh,
yeah. I do. Mochi, come here.
And Mochi be acting up.
I was gonna say, he do.
Mochi be.
Say hi, Mochi.
Oh, look at him.
Hi, Mochi.
So cute.
Hey, Mochi.
His little ass been wilding because I've had company over this week.
I'm looking at our line. I can't see it.
Oh my god.
Fight back, nigga. Fight back. Literally, like, that was energy. Like, that was a beating. And I felt I couldn't. I struggled. I struggled through that because I was like, why? Like, for what reason? But that does get me into what we're talking next, which is going to be favorite characters and favorite scenes.
Okay.
So, yeah. And your least favorite scenes, since I got to get my least favorite scene. Let's go.
My favorite scene. Mm-hmm. My favorite scene is when we kind of see Boji and Kage.
Kage?
Yeah, Kage.
I was watching English, so Kage. Get out my damn chips.
Starting to really bond. Like, just kind of seeing that progression of knowing, like, Kage's history and, like, what it is. And then seeing it sort of attached to Boji and have this loyalty and really care for Boji. And then they had, like, this one scene where you just see this. I don't know if it was a heart-to-heart, really, but... That was like the scene that took me. I'm like, he has to become friends with a shadow. Like,
the shadow one only people can understand him.
If you're that ostracized that you had to become friends with a shadow, like, I'm rooting for you completely. Like, you're not like the underdog. You're the bottom dog. Like, you're bottom of the barrel. Yeah, like, bottom of the barrel.
He gotta get it out the mud.
Right.
He gotta go to the shadows, and I feel that on a personal level. So
my man thought he had to, and it wasn't even like he had to buy friendship, but like,
right,
he was willing to give up the clothes off his back for somebody else, even though that person was clearly using him. And we have to know that Boji knew that.
Yeah,
like,
he was well aware.
Boji's character developed. There's no way he didn't know that Kage had ill intentions and was using him. But Boji was still giving out of the goodness of his heart.
He's so pure.
And when he offered his loyalty And Boji looked around and was like, "What can I give you as a thank you?" And he was like, "No, we don't need to do that no more, baby." I was like, "No."
And I feel like Boji is definitely my favorite character, but I feel like Boji's meant to be your fave. Like you're meant to root for him. The story is written that way. Really?
Kage is my favorite. I love Boji. Really? Like when I say Boji is on my list of children that I would fight and or kill for, like, and I would die for him. Like he's there. But Kage is legitimately my favorite character. And it's because he shows that loyal, like he is one of the first characters we see to appreciate Boji. He sees Boji for who he is, what he can be, and the strength of character that little boy has. And I love that because he just appreciates him so much. And like we know, knowing how bad Kage's past was, he could have easily been like, "Fuck humans, I ain't dealing with none of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm gonna slit every single one of y'all's throats before they take me out." Like he really could have.
But that'd be a nice little story. Kage the villain.
I want Kage to have his villain arc.
Yes,
it would be justified. But like for me, that was why I loved him so much, because he again, characters that continue to be good or that can be good despite everything. Those are like some of the best characters. But he really just appreciated Boji. He was one of the first people to root for him. Like he was ready to sacrifice himself to stop Boji's beating. He was about to run into the thick of it for my man.
Oh shit!
Like,
into the thick of it.
Into the thick of it.
Just running his ass out there.
So no, but like that's why Kage is my man. It's like I love him. He's a good boy. I would give him all the things.
One character I don't like though, I don't like Daida. I know that he's sort of groomed to be the way that he is. But I guess I just hate those characters that are immediately taken over by like this sort of jealousy, and you have to conquer everything all the time. Like I just can't deal with that. And like the way when he uses the mirror, and I just don't like that. And I'm just like, yo, this energy is so negative, and you give into it every time, and that's why what happens to you happens to you. That's why. That's what you do.
But just desserts, my guy.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Right? You didn't even take a moment to think like, oh, well, maybe I love my bro, or maybe I want to be a better kid.
Especially because they could have been an amazing team.
Mm-hmm. Right. It didn't have to be that way. Yeah, no, Joffrey was awful. He had no reason to be that way. And then we're saying that he was groomed this way, but I mean, I didn't see none of Joffrey's backstory. And I mean, he got a mother and a father. Why is he so angry? Why is he so aggressive? Why is he acting like this? I mean,
he's like a prodigy in a way.
He's beloved. So what the hell? What is this about?
That's why. So this is what I think happened, and they allude to this in the show. I think between the influence of the mirror, as well as the fact that what's her name? That is mom.
Heating?
Queen Healing.
Healing.
That's my girl right there, though. That's my girl right there.
She's that Snoopy waifu.
Hear me out. Healing clearly loves Boji. Soon as Shorty got in the castle, her mission was to like love him and get him to love her back, and not on no like manipulative shit. But she has always treated him as a cripple. Yeah. And because she always treated him that way, it created a superiority complex in King Joffrey II. And he began to look down. He said it himself. He was like, over time, because other people looked down on him, I started to look down on him. I started to belittle him in my mind.
That's a character flaw.
It is. Oh, it very much is. But the thing about it is they never corrected the behavior. If they had corrected the behavior and been like, your brother, while he does have disabilities, can continue to be a functional and like contributing person to society and is going to be the next king, and they just like, if they did what they were supposed to do as fucking parents and adults that were responsible, every single adult in Boji's life except for Chris Sabat's character is a terrible fucking person.
Is it Despa? Isn't it
Despa?
Despa. Yeah, Despa.
Despa.
Which one? Despa or Desha? Which, the king or the brother?
The brother.
Despa, not Desha.
The one that don't fight.
The king.
Isn't Desha the one that don't fight? You know, whatever.
No,
got you.
The blonde one, the blonde brother. All of the adults in Boji's life, except for that blonde brother, are fucking terrible.
Right.
Every single one of them is awful.
Failed him.
Completely failed him.
No, but like Boji reminds me of kids that look like legit that I've worked with in real life. Especially kids who have
definitely watch it. It's good. You're gonna like it.
It is.
You're gonna like
and I think Boji will remind you of some kid in your life. But I love that this was like one of the few anime that we get where the main character has a disability that's super relatable. Like it's not like this supernatural, disability. It's something that like humans actually like deal with.
It's a common disability.
Yeah.
The man's deaf mute. Like that's fucking common.
And I love that, like,
and his body is weak. That's also part of his disability. He has no strength.
It is. And I love the fact that again, Hilling was a character that I felt very complicated about because she had her moment of being a really good mom. Like a really good mom. As soon as she met Boji and realized that she couldn't communicate with him like a regularly abled person, she started learning and making the effort to learn sign language. And she made sure that there were people around Boji that knew sign language. Like even when she was like yelling or being upset with him, it was always from a place of concern. It wasn't necessarily from a place of trying to put him down, but I think she fell into the same trap that a lot of our parents fell into, where she didn't know how to properly express what it was that she was trying to say without hurting Boji. And also Sid and Dory, y'all are on mute. I don't know if y'all did that on purpose or not. So like it was always from a place of concern. Her intentions were good. But you know how that saying goes, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Yeah. So she was a character that I felt very complicated about. She was very relatable, not necessarily to me, but like I saw my mom her, like, like who doesn't know a parent that was like that, or like an adult that like they loved you, but they were a little too harsh with you because they were trying to protect you.
That's what I love about the show. I really feel like you can watch this show and pull out a piece of your childhood or your adolescence, and you can see different key players in your life and these key player like characters. So that was like probably one of my favorite themes in this. Just a suckle upon teats. No,
not a suckle upon teeth. Look at young. Look at baby Boji.
Baby Boji's little potato
face was so fucking cute.
Remind me of my baby.
Yes.
He's so cute. All right. And I was gonna say that other scene where Boji and Hilling were hugging was after episode 13. Thank you very much, because I recognize it. I'm like, but no, there were really good things about Hilling. There really were. She was complicated. Mochi, if I have to tell you one more time to leave that alone,
is that
all of the characters were really complicated? Yeah. I found like none of them were just cut and dry. Like I wanted to form opinions about them based on like the typical tropes, but they're all very complicated and they're very, like you said, personable. Like I feel like I can relate them to a bunch of people in life. So yeah, I really liked it.
There was a scene, really I don't know if this is after episode 12, but I don't feel like it's a spoiler. But there was a scene when Boji was reminiscing on, I never say her name right,
Hilling.
Yeah. So when Hilling, he was reminiscing on Hilling in his life and was coming to this conclusion of like, oh, this is who she really is to me. And I feel like we all get to that point with our parents where it's a click. Like in that scene, maybe one of my favorite scenes too, because I've always been close with my mom. I've always had a good relationship with her. But there was a time like when I was a young teen where like I was probably like 16 and it just clicked that I was like, I don't want my mom to just be my mom. Like I want to show my mom that like she's like sort of one of my best friends too. And I understand like what you've done for me. Like I really get it now. And it like before that, of course, I loved and cared for my mom, but it was that one day and I was like, oh shit, that's my best friend. Like
right.
That's nice. That's lovely. And like honestly, I get what you're saying. That was in episode 12, I think, where he was riding back to the kingdom. It was 11 or 12. He was thinking about because he was like, oh, Hilling is still there and this kingdom's being taken over. He was like, oh, I don't want anything bad to happen to her. Like, even though my relationship with her is complicated, I still love her. And I think that was why it was so relatable to me, because I had not the opposite relationship with my mother, but my mother and I butted heads until I was about 21. So, like, I mean, it stopped being as bad once I turned 18 and she was like, look, I've done the best that I can. You going off to college, you finna start making decisions. She was like, just don't fail school because I'm paying for that shit out of pocket, which I proceeded to do my first semester. So, but like after that though, my mom and I really came to an understanding, and it's my childhood trauma healing journey has been that a journey. And I keep coming back to these moments with my mom where like we'll sit down and talk through the things that she said or did that hurt me, and things that I like said and did. Like we have those coming to, not, I don't want to say coming to Jesus moments, but like that kind of situation. So like I could 100% relate to Boji in that, where he was like, even though my relationship with her is complicated, I still love her as a mother. She loves me. I don't want anything bad to happen to her. So I get that. I was like, I love that. I love that there's all of the characters are extremely complex, except for Boss. Boss is just a shit person. Mochi, what do you ask? Mochi,
shitty dad.
Sorry, hold on.
Such a shitty dad.
And that's like one thing I do need more clarity on. I probably need to like go back some episodes and think about this, is how Boji truly feels about his father. I don't think that I paid enough attention to that part, that theme in the show.
They show stuff in the early parts of how he feels about him, and then you obviously see more as the series continues on. But it's like Boji goes through so much internal struggle with so many different people because of his interactions with the people as he goes along in his journey. Like our main man who fucking threw him off the John, like down in the pit,
in the pits of hell.
Right.
Real rat.
Supposed to be his fucking mentor. Yes, that bitch.
And the sad part about it is that in his heart, for real, he really rooting for Boji. So it's like he's throwing Boji off the cliff, and that shit is killing him. He's just like, yo, I really didn't want to do this, but I did this shit because of some other shit that I was caught up in. And then what's worse, he got the other guy wrangled up in it.
Right.
And he didn't do nothing. He's just like, yo, Bevan, they got him wrangled up in it. And he's just like, yo, what did you do? And he's like, listen, man, just go back to the kingdom, because if you associate with me any longer, I can't promise that you're going to have a good life after this. And I'm just like my man with the spear, you thought he was on some shit. And then, like, it's so much going on. And it's like, would y'all review something that's technically not anime? What do you mean?
I think it just depends on
the suggestions, whatever.
What would be the suggestions if you wanted something other than anime?
Let us know what you are looking for, and we can tell you. We'll review that.
Because I mean, we watch all the nerdy things over here, but
and read them.
And read. Oh, for sure. Pinky, where did you go?
I think Mochi is giving her fits.
Max.
Primal.
I heard of that.
I did too. I heard of Primal as well. Too. Yeah, I've heard of Primal.
Okay, no, Mochi was being a nasty little shit mouth and went and took cat poop out the box. So I had to. Yes. So sorry, that's where I ran off to just now. But so real quick, can we go back to whatever the fuck Boji's swords teacher mentor nigga was?
We can go back.
I was gonna say it was giving Jamie Lannister from me.
Why is this like?
Oh no, not him. The one that pushed him.
The other guy who got his hand.
The pits of hell.
Yeah, that's hand chopped off.
Oh, I definitely thought of Jamie Lannister.
He was giving Jamie. Yes, this nigga right here.
I forgot his damn name.
Fuck, it's not important because
he's not important.
No, but like he really gave Jamie Lannister vibes because my man was out here pretending to care for him, pretending to be a good Domus. Yeah, there we go.
That was his name. Yeah, Domus. Thank you.
So he was out here pretending and smiling in his face and act like I thought he was gonna be a responsible, cool adult in the first 2 episodes, and then that nigga showed his ass, and I was like, what the entire fuck? And then they tried to give him his little redemption arc in the last couple episodes between like 8 through 12. I was like, fuck him. Ain't no redeeming him.
No.
Ain't nothing good about him. I don't fuck with him.
That's how I felt. I was like, I'm enjoying this story and what's happening, but I'm not going to like move to that side. I'm staying on this hill where I'm good on you.
I want him to die. Like, I don't care what level of die.
Like,
he gives that. No, he gives that. Yes.
Yeah,
judgment,
like he can
judgment
go.
has been passed.
He legitimately can go because he really tried it. Like, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be." I understand that, like, okay, maybe you didn't like him because you had whatever mental hangups you had, but she was going straight up, like, Dinah called him on it. He was like, "Oh, so you gonna vote for me over my brother who you taught and we're supposed to be loyal to?" And then you going, and then he took the order, and
Dinah said that shit. Dinah was bullshitting when he said that. It was true, but Dinah was just bullshitting, man. He was full of shit.
He was, but also, so I was gonna say there was this one other thing that I kind of wish that they hadn't. What do you have? Drop it out of your mouth.
No, diamonds don't get a second chance.
I'm probably the only one out of the group that was willing to give him a second chance because he was really fucked up. Like, he was just like, Boji, please. Like, he on his knees begging, like, please, like, let me prove to you that I really was not about that. Throwing you off the cliff. Like,
I was about that, though. Like, he voted against him. He was going to kill that man. Like, are you serious? No, this guy was tripping. No,
he was.
And you supposed to be his mentor, and this is what you do. This is what you do to your mentee, and then you want to be broken up about it later. What the fuck? No, actions have consequences, and yours needs to be death.
That's what it
live is. With the bad feelings.
It's the clown mask.
Because Boji could have literally died. He tried to kill Boji. He tried to assassinate him. No, there's no coming back from that. You do that shit on the streets, niggas coming for you. That's it.
Exactly. And that's why it's like
out here. Like, you don't come get your ass for that. But like,
exactly, we don't forgive for that. No, you went down. That's it.
Well, I'm with Boji forgiving because I don't want Boji to have that pain, so that Boji can move on. You know what I mean?
Boji's a good person. Boji's a much better person than I am.
If my mentor was to do that to me, like, I would be hurt, right? So I would need to forgive that process immediately so I can move on. But the rest of us, we don't have to.
You're also a better person than I am, because no.
Like I said, I'll forgive them in hell. I'm gonna be petty for now.
Straight to hell, because no.
But what I wanted to say was, I wish there was one thing. Like, I wish when it came to the timing of the show, that instead of Boss taking over Dida's body before we got the clarification, I wanted to know if Dida actually did issue the order for him to, like, what he intended for that. He was like, was that a test of loyalty for Dida or a test of loyalty to Boji? Because I would have
I can answer that, but I can't answer it because it's a spoiler.
Okay, well, that's good to know. That's good to know. I'm looking forward to it then. But so for me, that was the one I was like, okay, I wish they had gotten to that when I told them I have my show at 8:00. Why are y'all calling me? I'll come over to the house after. But so yeah, no, I really liked it. I thought it was great. Those two, fuck Domus. It will forever be beef with Domus. What was I about to say? I completely lost my train of thought by my friends calling me, interrupting me. Anywho,
friends than Dorian.
So,
Dorian let me
I was gonna say, so did we go through favorite scenes already? I think we
did our favorite scene. I think Royal. I don't know if we got your favorite scene though.
Shit. What's my favorite scene? Think about it. I don't think my favorite scene is before episode 12. So I would have to say my favorite scene. It would be the training with Blonde Brother.
That's right.
Yes, I'd have to agree with that then, because I'm trying to think what was before episode 12.
Right, exactly. Before episode 12, it's really fucking good after episode
so much going on at once that it's like all the episodes mesh together so well that it's just like, well, wait, was that 13, 14, or 10? Like, I don't know.
But yes, I think that would be my favorite. I liked how Kage was so supportive. So Kage's not my favorite character, but he's definitely like getting there. I think my favorite is the blonde brother. I really, really like him a lot. He's hilarious and he's cute. And then later on, learning about him and you
He
know,
cute. He
the,
handsome.
He's so
he is,
flamboyant.
Yeah. He's zesty.
He's a very pretty man.
and he about that money, and I feel it. I feel it. I
About
like
that
that.
money.
So yeah, he's about his money. And so
Oh, OG, my son.
right, my man Boji, and he was on Boji's side the whole time. You know, they had to pay him, but he ain't never did Boji wrong, as far as I
Never.
know so far.
Yeah.
So I like
And
this guy. You
I
know,
can't even
he's
be
my
mad that my
favorite.
man's was like, oh, okay, hold on. I'm not even mad that my man's had to be paid because any teacher,
Everybody gotta be paid.
everybody gotta get their money.
Yeah, he about his money. I'm not mad at all. I like that. I like that. We all about the dollar.
Right.
We like that.
Get your coins. Get your coin, bro. I ain't mad at that because as soon as he took Boji under his wing, he was about it. He was like, "This is my student.
He was all about it.
He gave him
Yes.
every bit of, like training he could give him. He ain't
He
quit.
did.
He didn't domus him. He didn't get discouraged, and he worked with
Yes,
what Boji's
domus is
strength
becoming
were.
a verb.
Domus
Domus
is
is going to become a verb, and I feel like I'm going to use that now for every friend that betrayed
Ooh.
me.
I remember that time I got domused.
No, that's
That
a thing.
domus
Matter
ass.
of fact, I
Let's
feel as
go.
though that is what we should talk about. A time that we've been domused.
Not a time.
No,
Shit.
we have to.
Even that's relatable though, because we've all been domused at some point. Like,
Yeah. Everybody gonna been doing
I feel like if you guys wouldn't mind going around the room and briefly explaining a time you've been pushed off into the pits of hell.
Not
And they probably were crying, like, I can't believe I did that to her. You
guess
did it anyway. You did it anyway, bitch.
it was like, let me pick one.
I have to say, I've been domus a few times. That's why I don't fuck with folks.
Wait,
Right.
They
is
be
our
wondering
domus
why.
the same person?
I feel like our domus is
Is
the same person.
So we had a friend that came to me like for no reason and was just like, I was really hungry. I was like I was shaking like from hunger. And like, oh, you want this celery with peanut butter? And I was like, oh, thank you. And I was like, what's up with you? And she legit was like, our friendship has an expiration date and it has expired. And I'm just
what?
And the crazy thing, so I think what the thing was is she was like, oh
wait, now what did you say real fast? Say that.
Oh, she said like, oh, our friendship had expired.
Friendship had expired.
Yeah, she's like, and so I felt it was a betrayal because she could have came and talked to me about her issue, even though all of our conversations were always focused on her issues. But I guess because I didn't call her for 2 days to check up on her and her fucked up situation with some fucked up dude, like I was going through my own things and I felt as though I needed 2 days because we were going through this for months of dealing with this trash garbage individual. So,
oh my God.
So I take 2 days off to deal with my own shit so I can be there for you. And you say our friendship has expired. We've been friends for a couple years now and it's over. Okay.
That's like I had to cut the mic off because the fucking story was too much.
And then it was how she did like not only me but like Dorian too, because it was like you didn't really come and talk to either one of us. And it was just the negativity. It was the not talking to us at work. It was the letting other people know how you felt, but like not talking to us. And that's so weird. Yeah, real weird.
That's real flaky.
And it's 10 years later, staring at us at a party like, old friends. I don't know how to behave.
That same person I had like run into on the bus.
No, it sounds like that was a good exploration. Like y'all did not need her in your life because she sounded like a user.
Yeah, she had to go.
She had to go. I'm glad that it expired. Like,
and it was like one of those weird friendships too, where she would like say like mean things. Like I remember she said to me like, yeah, Sid, you should like, you should be a hoe because I don't want to be a hoe by myself, because she was sad about it though. She's like, I don't want to be the only sad one. And I'm just like, It's
So
a
Misery
friend.
Loves
You
Company. You
could
want me
be
to be sad too?
unsad.
What'd you say?
I was like, Misery Loves Company. You want me to be
Yeah.
sad because you sad? Fuck
And
you.
what do I look like being a sad hoe?
Right.
I'm gonna be a happy
Happy
hoe.
hoe.
Yo,
Why are we hoeing and sad?
That's
right.
what I'm saying.
That is
Hoeing
the
is a good
Because
opposite.
they
thing.
believe that they
If
were
you sad, you
men's
shouldn't be hoeing.
definition of a hoe. That's why.
You should not be hoeing if you sad. Hoeing
The
is
men think
we
I'm a
Because
happy
then
hoe.
at
out
that
here in
point,
the
it's a coping
street.
mechanism, and
Hoe.
you need therapy, baby. Like,
That part. That part. And we were like, oh, Virgo gang, which was crazy.
That's
That was
crazy.
crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Doma.
insane. But no, I was gonna say I'm gonna pick my less traumatic one because there was one where homegirl literally set me the fuck up. And then had the
Oh,
and then had the
it's so
audacity
funny that
after I
you
got
use the
access
word
to my
setup
social
because we
media
got a
again.
Domas for that story too.
We got Doma. Okay, Pinky, what happened? What happened?
Oh, so the one that's less traumatic, and I do feel a little bit bad because I could have handled the situation a lot better, but like also I'm not upset that this girl is no longer in my life. But essentially it boiled down to I had been a really loyal friend to her for years. Like we had been friends in middle school. And then we fell off in high school because she had gotten into an abusive relationship where dude isolated her for years and years and years or whatever.
Oh, no.
And then we reconnected when I was in college. And by the time we had our falling out was a few years ago at this point, but like we had been friends for like a strong 7 years. I helped her when her mom had passed and helped her move her stuff and like was there for her emotionally. And like I would make visits every summer to go see her in North Carolina and Florida for her birthday and this, that, and the third. Even when she would come back to Maryland to visit me for a birthday or whatever, I would make accommodations to get her where she needed to be. And like, I was very accommodating to her. But the final straw for me was she didn't tell me that she was coming to Maryland like a week after my birthday. And I'm like, I don't make a big deal about much of anything except my birthday.
Okay.
Like it's my one day. I'm gonna make a little bit of a big deal about it.
As you should.
Right. So
you're one of my favorite people. Like, of course I'm gonna want you a part of it.
Right. So I knew she wasn't going to make it for my birthday, but I didn't know she was going to come shortly after. I did not find out until she was already in Maryland, had been there for like 36 hours. I offered to come to her where she was staying, which was an hour away from me so that we could hang out because I had a busy schedule ahead of me. And I was like, I'm not really going to have a lot of time, but I want to make time to see you since you're here. And she was like, oh, I don't know. I'm tired. And then like an hour and a half later, I was like, okay, well, what about tomorrow? Do you want to get brunch or whatever? And she was like, oh, I just went to so-and-so's house and I don't know what time I'm going to leave here. So I don't know what time I'm going to wake up tomorrow. And I was like, bet, say less. And then I just proceeded to stop talking to her. And she came back to Maryland in December and was like, oh, I would love to see you. And I was like, I'm just not going to respond because I made an attempt to see you and was willing to come and be out of my way. What are you doing? You're not old enough to even be remotely thinking about sexual shit. So I need you to not look like you finna hump me. Stop. I'm sorry, y'all. My dog is being a little extra at the moment. But yeah, so I was like, no, I'm not about to deal with you no more because I've been nothing but a loyal friend to you for years. And this is not the first time you've done this stupid shit to me. So I'm like, I'm good. And then she found out about it like a year later or less than a year later because of a group chat. And she was like, oh, is this why you stopped talking to me? I was like, you got the audacity to be irate because I dropped you because you treated me poorly? Like, for real? All right. So that was my domus. One of my domuses.
Felt. Wait, can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Hear us? Okay, good. We were on mute before. But yeah, from the microphone, not even like on here. No, but that's crazy because I feel like when we're talking about these situations, look at the things that make us feel like we were being pushed off, into a situation that was not so nice for us. Like, we don't ask to like be kind of discarded or pushed aside the way that people will do so. So like, yeah. And I mean, we can always have bigger betrayals out here, but we're talking about something light. It's definitely not compared to being pushed off the cliff into hell, but
right.
Still. I was like, I have one that is actually like that, but I was like, this is not
part two. We'll come back.
But I was gonna say, I'm like, and plus we're a little off track and we're running out of time. We are going to end this at like around an hour. So do we want that to count as our miscellaneous topic for today?
Yes.
Who our domuses were. Royal, did you do yours? Let's do yours for
I did not do mine, but so I actually haven't had that many. I'm not a person who has had like a lot of friends over the years. And when I try to meet new people and make friends, normally it's like a domus situation. So I always find myself in a situation where like someone who I thought was my friend is like asking me for money, and then they don't pay me back, and then they just kind of ghost me. So that has happened to me like 3 times.
No. Don't ask me for money and then ghost me. Just tell me you can't pay me back.
Like, you ain't even called to have the regular conversations that we had. You just took the money and did. And real life. So I just have like 3 of those situations. I don't even really need to go that deep into it because these are people who I don't have like a whole lot of friends, but these are people who I tried to open up to, and I thought that we were cool, and maybe we was like, cool hanging out for like a year or so. Next thing you know, hey, I'm on hard times, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, sure. You're my friend and I trust you at this point. So sure, I want to help you. I want to be there for you. And then they just dip up and that be it. So that's my donor situation.
Yeah. Real quick, shout out to BMT. Thanks for supporting us.
Thanks for coming by, BMT.
Follow us on, you can follow the Blur Cartel page on Facebook, IG, YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, TikTok, and Twitch. Wherever you stream content, we are there.
Ever will.
And episodes post to Spotify on Tuesdays at noon. If you want to recap and go back and listen. So yeah, I don't. We all had a Domus moment. Like, keep an eye out in your life for Domuses because they be out here.
Some of us have been Domuses.
Yes. And that too. I was like, I know I've been a Domus, and I'm not proud of it. I have. I'm not proud of it, but like, and it wasn't. I can't say that in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't the worst thing ever because for that person, it might have been. Like, I can't tell you the scope of how traumatized you were. Stop, Mochi.
I have a question. Can I give y'all a scenario and y'all can tell me if I was a domus or not? Because I halfway feel like I was, but I feel like I was justified.
Okay.
So I was friends with a girl, right? And we was cooling, right? We was kicking it for like maybe 2 or 3 years, right? And then I bring in like my other friends. So I got a homegirl. I've been friends with her for like maybe 20 years or so over that.
Damn.
And I'm thinking that we all kicking it. We all good, right? Come to find out, the girl that I was cooling with for like 3 years, she was doing shiesty shit to my homegirl that I was cooling it with for 20 years. So I said, bitch, I know the fuck you're not fucking with my bestie. And I had to throw it into hell. If I know this?
No, you a real one. That's a real. That's
what real friends do. That's not a domus.
You a rab. You a rab.
She was always good to me. She was always good to me. And it fucked up my head because I truly cared for her.
No, you were the blonde guard. You were the blonde guard that actually liked Boji and was like trying to be there for him. That was not domus. Not at all.
Because I kind of felt wrong because I'm like, this is my friend, this is my homegirl. She's been doing shiesty shit to my other friend, which I can't stand for. But she's never done anything to me. And I've liked her all this time. So I battle with that a lot.
You could do it if you do it to her, you could do it to me.
That's what I thought. Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. Okay.
She was showing you what her true character was like.
Yeah. Okay.
You really just lived that moment. So it's crazy that you even described that. I'm the 20-year plus friend in your story.
For real?
Real rap. And it's the 3-year girl that was talking to you and was like, hey, rah. And then you come and tell me, and then I confront 3-year. And then now 3 years mad at you and me because I confronted her about some shit she said. So it's like, no, you were not a Domas in that situation because the girl that would have been the Domas actually protected me. So thank you for being the friend doing the protection.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah. We actually have to leave because the studio that we're in is closing. Ooh. And they're just like, y'all got to skedaddle.
Right.
Got you. All right. The show is wrapping up. So I was going to say real quick, final thoughts. What do we think about the show?
We all love it. We all love it.
Yeah. Loved it. Highly recommend. Absolutely go watch it if you have not. Next week, we're going to be reviewing we're reviewing Kotaro Lives Alone. We're going to take a little break in between. And then after Kotaro Lives Alone, we'll come back and finish the last 12 episodes of Ranking of Kings. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate you. Remember, all is fair in love and war. Follow us on Facebook, IG, YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, TikTok, and Twitch.
Oh wait, you guys are so cool. I can't do it.
We can probably do it together.
Right. And we will see you next week on Sunday at 8:00. And listen to our episodes on Spotify on Tuesdays at noon. So
yeah.
see ya.
Bye.